Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. This is the 19th part of What If Deku Was Sanji's Reincarnation, My Heroes Reborn. The author of this great fanfic is Emma Ively. Links to them and original story in the description. Chapter 19, Secrets and Surprises. The UA Sports Festival was a big deal. Practically all of Japan was watching it on TV. And winning it was an even bigger deal. And Izuku really should have realized that while riding the train the day he went back to school. Wait! You're the kid who won the first year sports festival! Yelled someone on the train. Izuku jumped. Oh my gosh, he is! Said another person. It's true! He is a cinnamon roll! Said another person. So adorable! Said another person. Izuku was blushing bright red and didn't know how to handle it. Once he got off the train, he still wasn't sure how to handle it all. Sure, he had Sanji's confidence in him, but being recognized a foreign feeling, mostly because Sanji's bad luck when it came to wanted posters. It was a rainy day and he got his umbrella ready after leaving the station. Then one of the most annoying sounds from gaming began to play in his phone. Hey listen! Hey listen! Hey listen! Hey listen! He took out his phone, confused by what was going on with it. Finally, that annoys me too. Said Aiko's voice from his phone. Aiko! Yelled Izuku. Yep! It's me! Said Aiko. How are you on my phone? Said Izuku. Easy. I hacked into it. Said Aiko. Izuku started sweating as he stared at his phone. Keep walking, the excuse Aiko hacked into my phone and distracted me will probably only work once and I rather not have it be this time. Said Aiko, not for this. Izuku just stared at his phone but he decided to walk because well, it was probably better to not use that an excuse. Also don't worry, I can only hack into a device if Hibiki orders me to or give me permission. Said Aiko. Why would Hibiki give you permission to hack into my phone? Said Izuku. You remember that video I made about Bakugo? That wasn't the only meme I created about the sports festival. I made a ton. More videos of him planning how he's going to win only to show his defeat while playing losing horns, a few nice try. Memes about how Kirishima and Tetsu are ridiculously similar and of course memes about you and how much of a cinnamon roll you are. Said Aiko. Why did you make memes about me? Yelled Izuku. Because I love you. Said Aiko. Izuku had no response to that. Anyways, it's one of those memes that's the problem. It went viral. And not in a good way. Said Aiko. The screen showed an internet account and it was a picture from some old pre-quirk TV show of a woman holding some sort of animal but Izuku's head was photoshopped on. I've only had Izuku Midoriya for a day and a half, but if anything happened to him I would kill everyone in this room and then myself, read Izuku confused. Sorry, wrong account, got mixed up there. Said Aiko. It switched to a different meme. It was a series of pictures from the festival. The first showed after the fight with Shinso with the caption said nice words, then after that was after the fight with Todoroki checked to see if he was alright, then when he helped up Ida after their fight helped him up the next showed him glaring at Bakugo after their fight death glare. The next was him giving the speech though to be fair it's this guy so. With the final one showing him being a little awkward at some point he is a cinnamon roll. So don't fight it. This went viral? Asked Izuku confused. It wasn't that funny or weird. I agree, I only made it as a shield for if someone complained about the death glare, but it went viral, but not for the right reasons. Said Aiko. What do you mean? Asked Izuku. Look at the top comment, that's why it went viral. Said Aiko. Izuku read the top comment. He immediately froze when he read it. I went to school with both of them, everyone thought Midoriya was quirkless so he was bullied. And Bakugo was the main bully. Was what it said. Not only that but other people from his elementary schools and middle schools have started commenting as well, adding to it with many other people joining the thread to comment on the comments. Oh no, he said. And by my estimates, at least half your class has seen this, and probably a good chunk of the school, said Aiko. Meanwhile in the classroom Bakugo arrived. He saw that Kaminari was talking to Mina, Sato and Shiro. The way they looked when she brought up Bakugo, it was like they didn't want him there. It has to be true, said Kaminari. It makes sense, said Sato. I mean, thanks to that villain they've been really close. He probably told them that why she gave up. Because she knew they had to fight, said Mina. They then noticed Bakugo had entered the classroom and immediately changed the subject. Anyway, we have to figure out a way to get Midoriya to cook for us, said Kaminari. What? Why? Asked Shiro. His cooking is insanely good, said Kaminari. Bakugo rolled his eyes at what he was hearing. Then he noticed Kyoka seeing him and glaring at him. Not only that, Tokoyami was glaring at him too. Bakugo just ignored him, not knowing why but figuring it had something to do with doing better in the sports festival. Not knowing that, much like Kaminari, he realized the rumors were true thanks to the party. Back with Izuku. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. If I knew if word got out because of a stupid meme I did, I wouldn't have made it. I just would have figured out other ways to defend myself. Now that I think about it, probably should have used the idea you saw, said Aiko, but my point is I didn't want this getting out. I know you didn't, said Izuku, clearly not trying to freak out. Midoriya, what are you doing? Said Ida, running by completely decked out in rain gear. You shouldn't be standing around. He's right. Use the excuse when you need to, said Aiko. Also, catch up to him. He needs to know. Ida, yelled Izuku, catching up to him. There's something I need to tell you. What is it? Asked Ida. Well, you see, said Izuku, who didn't really know how to explain it. I made a crappy meme. Someone from Izuku's old school saw it and revealed that Bakugo bullied him, and that might have caused a situation, said Aiko, and then it went viral. Wait. What is Aiko doing on your phone? Said Ida. That's neither here nor there, because this is a situation that you as class rep needs to keep an eye on this. Izuku's become popular, like really popular. Like many people would kill everyone in a room and then themselves if anything happened to him. What? Asked Ida. Really? Asked Izuku. A lot of people are agreeing with sentiment, even if they don't get the reference, said Aiko. Izuku sighed at that. Anyways, I should leave you two alone, considering there's other stuff you should talk about, said Aiko, once again sorry. I didn't want to make it public. Oh, and don't tell the others I can do this. I want to surprise them when the time comes. With that, Aiko left Izuku's phone. They got inside the school where Izuku was putting away his umbrella. So, said Izuku. My brother is fine, said Ida. Izuku breathed a sigh of relief. Also managed to catch a recording of your match, congratulations, said Ida. Thanks, said Izuku. I think you should have toyed with him more, admitted Ida. I can't tell if you're kidding or not, said Izuku with a sweat drop. Considering all he had done to you, said Ida. Are you sure you're okay? Asked Izuku, becoming concerned. I am fine, don't worry, said Ida. They went to class together to see that almost everyone in class, and good chunk of them, were glaring or staring at Bakugo, who tried to ignore it. They noticed the other four members of the group were talking. Izuku, did you see? Asked Achiko. Yeah, I saw this morning, said Izuku. Only this morning? Asked Mashireo. I saw this yesterday. I'd been busy with other things, said Izuku, blushing. We should talk about this later, said Momo, it's almost time for class. And indeed Aizawa soon walked into class with the entire class greeting him. However, it should be noted he was no longer in bandages, though he was now sporting a large scar on his face. Ribbit Aizawa, you're out of your bandages, said Tsuyu. Yeah, the old lady went a little overboard in my treatment, muttered Aizawa. Anyway, today is an important lesson in heroics theory. The class was nervous about it. After all, something like that sounded like it was going to be a test or something. Turned out it wasn't. You need code names, said Aizawa. The class all cheered, then he used his quirk to settle everyone down. This also ties into the draft picks I was telling you about, said Aizawa. Normally you wouldn't have to worry about it until second or third year, but we opened it up first years. Think of it like investments. They can always lose interest in you, so you still have to show off. The class was nervous at this fact, however it did make sense. And this is how you did, said Aizawa. He flipped a remote and the ones that had gotten draft picks appeared on the blackboard. Naturally Izuku got the highest with nearly 5,000. Followed by Bakugo in second place. Almost everyone who was in the tournament all got draft picks, however there was one name that shocked everyone in the room. Mashireo's, who got even more than Zero, who was on the bottom of the list. Everyone stared at him, who froze at the stares. Though Toru did giggle, already knowing why he had so many. How did he get so many? Asked Zero in shock. It's not that much, said Mashireo. It was only 34. Still 34 more than most of us, said Mineta. Some of us were in the tournament and we didn't get offers, said Mina. It's strange, it's not because of his honor. No, it can't be that. Wait, it could be because, muttered Izuku. Midoriya. Stop muttering, said Aizawa. Sorry, said Izuku. Figures that Midoriya got the most, said Kyoka. Though I'm surprised Bakugo got any at all, considering, said Zero. I am aware of the rumors, said Aizawa, once again using his quirk. This is neither the place or the time to talk about them. Yes, sir, most of the class said. Rumors, thought Bakugo. Now even those that didn't get offers, you're still going to be interning, said Aizawa. That didn't get offers were all relieved when he said that. So you're all going to need code names, said Aizawa. Now these names are probably temporary. However, said Midnight, coming into the room, there is a chance that the code names might stick. And if it's permanent, then there's hell to pay. Midnight will be the one to give final approval to your code names, said Aizawa. It's not my forte. It really wasn't. He just went along with a suggestion a classmate, who grew up to present Mike, gave him. So he just took a nap while they did it. Totally not bitter about it. Everyone was given dry erase board to come up with their hero name. Then it turned out they would have to present it. Thankfully there was someone brave enough to go first, Aoyama, who had the name I Cannot Stop Twinkling. Everyone just stared in horror of this code name. And even more when Midnight changed to Can't Stop Twinkling, which he did approve. Next up was Mina, who had her own idea. The Ridley Hero. Alien Queen, she said. This too was rejected, however, for very different reasons. You have to choose again. Because the name is not only unoriginal but due to the fact that you have an acidic quirk combined with the fact you do look a little like an alien, Disney might sue you. You have to remember that it's one of their many franchises and they are one of the most powerful companies in the world, said Midnight. Mina shivered as the Imperial March softly played in the background. Where is that music coming from? Asked Kaminari. There's a rumor that someone with a music-based quirk has it. That song plays whenever Disney is mentioned in that way, said Kyoka. Weird, said Kaminari. Thankfully the next Tsuyu, who had the name Froppy picked out, actually went quite well. Thanks to that, the atmosphere was more relaxed after that. However, Izuku was having problems. He wasn't sure which direction he should go in. When he was a child, he wanted a name based on All Might. But that wouldn't work out for various reasons, such he wasn't sure if he should carry on the torch that way yet, and the fact that nearly a third of the class had seen his All Might-filled bedroom. He also wasn't sure if he should pick a name that reflected his past life. It was a big part of him now, but he also knew that once he had a better handle on his quirk, he would use that just as much as his other attacks. There were so many decisions. But a lot of the other students went up. Mashireo chose his name as the Marital Arts Hero Tailman, which made sense as he was a martial artist in both lives. Though when Toru came up, there were a question, as her identity was the party hero Invisible Girl. Wait. Party hero? Asked Siro. I'm thinking of having a side gig of becoming a party planner, said Toru, since I now know everything about planning parties. This just made everyone's sweat drop. I'm not kidding, by the way. I know everything. I even had a party planning cave in my past life, said Toru. I'm thinking of building a new one somewhere. Maybe we should have the next person go up, said Midnight. Momo went next with everything hero, Creati. More of their classmates went up, though a notable one was Todoroki, who decided to just use his given name of Shoto. Then it was Bakugo's turn. King Explosion Murder, he said. Everyone in the room stared at him. I don't know if that's a good idea, said Midnight. Oh, I have a suggestion, said Toru. Get rid of the murder part of the name. King Explosion sounds pretty cool if you think about it. Almost everyone in the classroom stared at Toru in shock. She's trying to help him? They all thought in surprise. She has a point, said Midnight. Taking out murder could work. Fine, I'll take it, said Bakugo, looking at Toru, but I'm not going to thank you. The class was so confused by what's going on, especially she handed him a cupcake when he walked by. What is she doing? Thought Izuku with a sweat drop. Achiko went next. I thought about this for a while, but Uravity, said Achiko. I like it, said Midnight. Alright, so we just have Ida and Midoriya. Ida presented his, which much like Todoroki was his given name, but there was something wrong with presentation. When he got back to his desk, he found a plate of cupcakes there. And of course Izuku was last. He got up to the podium and showed everyone his name. Everyone was surprised at it. What, seriously? Asked Kirishima. I mean, come on. I'm pretty sure everyone in here knows why you have that name and who gave it you, said Kaminari. Please don't talk about the rumors going around, sighed Midnight. No, it's fine, said Izuku. Someone told me not too long ago that it can mean something else. Achiko smiled when he said that. And of course his chosen name was Deku. Once he was done, Aizawa woke up from his nap. All right. You will be spending a week. 40 hero agencies all agreed from all over the country to mentor you during that week, said Aizawa. Remember, think about what you would be good. For example, if you were 13, you would want to focus on rescue work, said Midnight. You have until the weekend to make your choices, said Aizawa. Class is dismissed. In the teacher's room, Hibiki was on computer looking at some reports about the middle school that Izuku and Bakugo attended. So, said All Might, seeing what he was looking up. Just looking into the school, just in case, said Hibiki. Oh, another offer for Midoriya, said Cementos nearby. That kid, sighed Hibiki. What agency? Said All Might, feeling pride for Izuku getting so many offers. Then he saw the agency and was shocked by it. There's something about that agency, isn't there? Said Hibiki. All Might didn't say anything. Sometime later in the classroom, just as lunch started. What are you doing, Ribbit? Asked Tsuyu as she noticed when lunch started. The therapy group decided to go through their offers for some reason together.
We're figuring out why Mashireo got offers, said Izuku. It's seriously not fair, said Mina. I got pretty far into the tournament. I'm done with mine,
said Momo, who had to go through. She had gotten a few hundred, all of them were there.
Wait, said Sato.
Izuku gave her a couple of his pages. Every single agency that offered me also offered to Achiko, Toru and Momo. We still have to see if they all offered Izuku,
said Mashireo.
That's weird,
said Kaminari. No, it's not, said Izuku. I have a theory.
After a few more minutes they went through all of it, and as it turned out,
Izuku got every single agency that also offered Mashireo.
4 out of 5 all sighed in unison and then yelled in unison. The idiot forgot something again. Achiko grabbed Mashireo's arm and they ran out of the room, leaving Toru being the only member of the group who didn't run towards the teacher's room. The 34 agencies have heroes that fell victim to priestess,
explained Toru to everyone in the classroom. I should have realized it, thought everyone else in the room.
Meanwhile Bakugo was walking to the cafeteria. As he did he heard people whispering and a strangely cheerful song constantly being played. However, that was when he heard without the whispers.
Look, it's the villain,
said someone who clearly a general education student.
I know, right? Laughed one of their friends.
He's probably staking out the school so he can kill all the real heroes later, said another the friends.
What's that supposed to mean? Yelled Bakugo, glaring at him. What? Can handle the truth, said the first general education student. Or maybe you should just kill yourself.
Make the world a better place without you.
Bakugo looked at the student in horror.
However, his friends were just as horrified.
Dude. Not cool,
said one of the friends.
That is disgusting,
said another.
What? Haven't you heard?
He told Midoriya to kill himself, said the first student.
Bakugo found he couldn't move because of the shock of what was just said. What? Yelled one of the friends. That's messed up,
said one of the other friends.
But still, stooping to his level is just wrong,
said one of the friends.
You're right. I'm not a villain in the making, said the first student. Unlike him. Bakugo just stared in shock. However, Bakugo didn't know that one of his classmates heard everything. Meanwhile, in the teacher's office,
Hibiki was eating his lunch.
Hibiki! Yelled Izuku, Achiko, Momo, and Mashireo. Oh hey! You noticed, didn't you? Said Hibiki.
The 4 just glared at him.
I didn't forget this time, said Hibiki. It's true, he wanted it to be a surprise, said Toru, joining them. She's right. For once it's a surprise, said Aiko. Really? Asked Mashireo.
Really, said Hibiki. I know, a guy who's known for forgetting things surprising people, it's weird.
Laughed Aiko. Please stop making fun of me, said Hibiki. I will once you remember to do your memory exercises, said Aiko.
So, about those draft picks,
said Hibiki. Don't change the subject, said Aiko.
The second you told me you 5 were going to stick to being heroes was when you got those draft picks, said Hibiki. Almost every single victim that remain a hero has picked you. There's a couple who unable to due to the fact that they only made their final decision recently, or they were attacked after you so. The 5 were surprisingly quiet about this. I've forgotten if I already told you this, but the 5 are you are doing a lot better than many of the heroes, said Hibiki. He then got up and handed some papers to the 5 of them. These are 2 lists, one for the 10 heroes you do best with and the other 10 heroes I think need it the most,
said Hibiki. What do you mean need it the most? Asked Izuku. They're doing worse than you at the moment, said Hibiki. Depression, anxiety, anger issues, not dealing with the personality shifts well, and other reasons. Having you guys help them by having them show the ropes of being a hero might be good for them. Wait. Yuzu is number 7 on that list, said Mashareo. Yeah, she's been getting the villainous urge again, said Hibiki. The 5 stared at him. Okay, so in her past life she got sick of New York, and thanks to a combination of a prank on her boyfriend and a bad cold she started to pretend to be a crazy old woman so that she get things to herself, said Hibiki. Anyway, sometimes she's getting urged to do the same thing again so that she can have train cars all to herself. It's technically legal since she's not using her quirk, but it's not a good idea. She's also on the top of my list, so maybe I'll go with her, said Toru, showing that Crystal Harmony was on the top of her list with the reasons you two can talk about comedy and also you can help with her quirk. Izuku saw that on his recommendations list a written thing on top said talk to your other dad before going through this list. Talk to your other dad? Asked Mashareo. Inside joke, said Izuku. What about Rosewater? Asked Achiko, looking at the list of heroes that needed help. Oh, she's the one suffering from the worst case of depression. She was an alien who lived on Earth in her past life. Because of getting such a perception change and a lot stuff she did is why, said Hibiki. I should warn you, if any you decide to intern with her, she's one of the 3 that's open about her death. Wait, there's 3 that open about their deaths? Asked Momo. It's usually personal, but for those 3, Rosewater because of a lot of reasons, the other 2, said Hibiki. He took a breath, making the 5 nervous. Because they were darkly funny, said Hibiki. This just made the other 5 sweat drop. What? Asked all 5. It's true. And they gave me permission to tell you, said Hibiki. Seriously? Asked Mashareo. How can it be funny? Asked Momo. Kind of easily, both of their stories start out the same. They both were diagnosed with cancer, neither one sure if they were going to live. But they managed to beat it. So they decided to live their lives to the fullest, said Hibiki. One decided to go skydiving with a company that wasn't reputable. Well, you can guess how that went. And the other went on safari. He decided to get a close-up picture of a rhino. And you see what happened after that. The 5 teens, well actually 4 of them, as it was hard to tell with Toru, but they had looks on his faces that was a confused mix of things. The best way to put it, this is horrifying, but at the same time I kind of want to laugh. If it helps both of them do say, I really shouldn't have gone with that shady-ass company, and I was a freaking moron for trying to do that to a rhino. So yeah, said Hibiki. He saw that the teens still had that look on their faces. Change the subject, said Aiko. Oh right, said Hibiki, I have to talk about that. Izuku, I can't talk to the other teachers about the new problem without your permission, said Hibiki. What? Asked Izuku. I'm sure that at least once during class they brought up the whole thing with Bakugo, sighed Hibiki, but as the only faculty who can confirm it I need your permission to talk about it with them and the principal. Oh of course, said Izuku. Good, said Hibiki. Also I have a set idea for today's session, since it's something we have to talk about, but I'm letting you delay it today due to Bakugo and other reasons. Just make sure you don't take too long with your conversations. Okay, said Izuku. I have some things to do, and you should get lunch, said Hibiki. The 5 left and headed to the cafeteria. Once they gone, Hibiki put on his headphones. Aiko, said Hibiki. Connecting him right now, said Aiko. So do you have permission? Said Principal Nizu's voice. I'm allowed to talk about it, said Hibiki. I can confirm that the rumors are true. Katsuki Bakugo bullied Izuku under the assumption that he was quirkless, combined with what I heard about at least the middle school's reputation on quirkism, I believe there's a case here. He heard the animal of ambiguous species sigh, I can't believe that such rampant quirkism still exists. he said. Well, we can make things better for that school, said Hibiki. Since I'm sure you have the time, I believe you should handle it, said Principal Nizu. I'm down with that, said Hibiki. You ready, Aiko? Let's take those sons of bitches down, cackled Aiko. In the hallway the five looked at their lists. Izuku, what do you know about Lady Soul? Asked Momo. Well, her quirk is known as Power Soul. She can create an umbrella that lets her manipulate inanimate objects, explained Izuku. Momo now looked interested. Why is that your top suggestion? Asked Achiko. I'm leaning towards Yuzu, said Toru. I'm actually leaning toward Rosewater, said Achiko. Really? Asked Izuku, surprised. Yeah, it sounds like she needs someone right now, said Achiko. I have a lot to think about, said Izuku. Same, said Mashireo. Meanwhile, Bakugo entered the cafeteria. When he entered, of course, he got glares, stares, and people either whispering or not caring what he heard. I wonder how many times he blew him up. He overheard someone saying, he's probably the reason why the USJ was attacked, said someone else. That was when Monoma showed up with a smug smirk, like he was going to taunt him. However, Itsuka chopped his neck before he could say something. Sorry about that, said Itsuka, though it was clear she was glaring at him a little. Bakugo got his food. It seemed like no one was willing to give him a seat. Well, almost no one. Hey Bakugo! Over here! Called out Kirishima. Bakugo stared at the redhead and joined him. I'm only sitting with you because I don't think I can find a seat, muttered Bakugo. Yeah, said Kirishima with a shrug. So, have you seen it? Seen what? Asked Bakugo, figuring it was the reason why everyone was talking about him. It's a really stupid meme, said Kirishima. It went viral because of your former classmates. Kirishima showed Bakugo, who paled when he saw the comments. That was when he saw the therapy group walk in. Don't do anything, said Kirishima. What? Asked Bakugo. He noticed that the whole cafeteria seemed to be glaring at him. Not a good time to confront him about this, said Kirishima. Bakugo muttered as he ate. It should be noted that Kirishima was not the one who heard the conversation in the hallway. He was just a nice guy trying to help someone through a hard time, even if that person was Bakugo. Before everyone left for the day, Aizawa made an announcement. I'm sure by this point all of you have heard about the rumors going around, said Aizawa. The class was silent about it. UA has a strict policy when it comes to bullying. If you have seen something, please report, and I would rather not have to discipline any of you, said Aizawa. Most of the class glared at Bakugo, however, deciding not to go after him due to these reasons. Once Aizawa left, Bakugo turned toward Izuku. Deku! He practically growled out. I know, we have to talk, said Izuku, who wasn't in Sanji mode. This caught Bakugo off guard. Most of the glared at the two left. Seriously, this is really messed up, said Kaminari. I mean, he knows Midoriya's mom really well. And bullying him like that. Half of it probably isn't true though, said Kyoka. You heard Mr. Aizawa. We shouldn't be doing this, said Ida, getting ready to leave. He's right, agreed Momo. Besides, neither Izuku or Inko wouldn't want any of us harming him. Inko? Asked Mina. Izuku's mother insisted I call her that, said Momo, blushing a little. I can see her doing that, said Achiko, blushing a little. Seriously though. You know the internet is talking about how pure and sweet Midoriya is. Well, you really need to meet his mom, said Kaminari.
The rest of the classmates started to sweat drop at the ones who went to party talk about how kind and sweet Inko was. In the hallway, the two found a good spot to talk.
I had nothing to do with the meme,
said Izuku. I would have preferred to keep quiet about this.
You think I would buy that? Yelled Bakugo. Why would I make a meme about myself? Asked Izuku with a sweat drop. Bakugo didn't answer. I didn't want to get this out, said Izuku, but it's out there and we can't stop it.
Hopefully it will die down soon.
I'm sorry this happened. Izuku began to leave so he could look for All Might. Wait. Did I ever told you to kill yourself? Asked Katsuki. Izuku then slipped into Sanji mode. I should have known you would forget something like that,
said Izuku, glaring at him. Katsuki just stared at Izuku as he walked away. He also shook as he did. Thankfully Izuku didn't have to search long to find All Might.
Found you, young Midoriya,
said All Might in his hero form.
So this is about Hibiki's note, isn't it? Asked Izuku. He told you, said All Might. Just with this note,
said Izuku, which he knew he just told him.
All Might saw the note and sweat dropped. He's really pushing the joint custody joke, said All Might. Yeah, said Izuku. You got another offer, said All Might. I kind of figured that, since you're telling me it has to be important, said Izuku. It is,
said All Might. You see, he was a former teacher, one that my homeroom teacher back when I was a student.
Whoa. Really? Asked Izuku.
He all knows about One for All,
said All Might. He does? Said Izuku, realizing that it was indeed very important.
He's been retired for a while, so I forgot to include him in the list of people who knows about it,
said All Might.
And then All Might began to shake as he muttered things about him. Izuku was terrified at this as All Might gave him the information.
How scary is this guy? Thought Izuku.
Meanwhile Bakugo was walking to the train station, but of course he was lost in his thoughts.
I told him to kill himself, but he still admired me? He thought, what kind of idiot does that? He picked up a rock and blew it up. That bastard! He yelled. That was when he heard a meow.
He looked down, it was a small cat. It meowed again, then rubbed against him.
He grumpily looked down at the cat but decided to pet it, which the cat accepted happily. He didn't notice that nearby one of his classmates walking away.
The very same one that overheard the other student telling him he should kill himself.
Back at school, Izuku got to the therapy room. All right. Here sooner than I thought, said Hibiki as the others were there. Did anything happen after class? Said Izuku. We're pretty sure that Kaminari is trying to figure out a way to hold another party at your house, said Mashireo. Seriously? Asked Izuku. But yeah, everyone knows, sighed Ochako.
He knew about the meme before I told him,
said Izuku. Why would your classmates finally say something? Asked Mashireo.
Probably now that Izuku's famous, they figured they could just throw Bakugo under the bus and pretend that he's always been his friend,
said Hibiki. Yeah, sighed Izuku. Hibiki cleared his throat. Aiko, go home, he said. Yes, sir,
said Aiko as the device that he wore turned off.
Surprisingly, everyone in the room.
They remembered that if it was an exceptionally serious topic, he would ask her to leave.
Anyways, today's topic is one we have to talk to about, said Hibiki, one that if we don't talk about today, is one that we'd probably end up avoiding. The 5 teens all looked at Hibiki.
Today's topic, spouse and kids,
said Hibiki.
And so began another session, one that they knew that they really had to talk about.
That will be it for this part.
I hope everyone enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and comment if you want part 20.
If you want to hear more from me, subscribe. I hope to see you all in the next one.